Hello everyone, this is Damon with PicSnub Software. For this video, I'm going to be discussing the Use Smart Objects option in Easy Team Builder. What this does is if this is checked, it will put each player layer into their own smart object, and it uses the full resolution image file for that smart object. So if I just open this up, you can see that there is the full resolution image. If it was a 50 megapixel image, it's going to store that full 50 megapixel file in the smart object. So just keep that in mind that when using this, it's going to take a lot more RAM memory usage and a lot more disk space if you save the layered file when you're done. But what this is good for is if you don't know the exact size of your team when you build it and you want to be able to rescale that, or you don't know the exact size it's going to need to be fitted into. So if you need to rescale a team or individual players, it can do that non-destructively. So if I hit Control T here, just scale this down to around, I don't know, 20% or something. Now if we look at it here, we see there's not a lot of detail left in the faces. But if I scale this back up, as soon as I hit apply, that detail is going to come back here. You don't see it yet, but it's got to get that information from the full res files to reapply. Once it does, you see that we lost no quality by scaling down and then scaling back up. I've also got the same team in an example here where it was not built with smart objects. So just let me demonstrate the same thing here. Let's just scale this to 20% like we did the other one. And then if I scale it back up this time, back up to the original size. You see that now when I apply that, you see all that quality that was lost, and that is because without it being in the smart object, downscaling to 20%, we lost all of that resolution, and then when we scaled it back up, the only thing it could do would be to blur the images. So you can really see the difference here with the smart objects and without when I scaled down and then scaled back up. Now this was a pretty extreme case. If you were only scaling by 20 or 30% or something, it might not be as noticeable. But whenever you're upscaling, if it's not a smart object, it's going to lose quality. Now, how many images your computer can handle for smart objects in a build, it's completely up to your system. And as far as your system specs for RAM and when you save the file, how much disk space you want to take. But it also has to do with the size of your images. So if you're shooting 50 megapixel images, it's going to be 50 megapixels per layer. Now one thing you can do too, just a suggestion, if you want to use smart objects but you don't need like the full 50 megapixels, say you only need the images, you know that they're never going to be more than 1,500 pixels tall, for example. You could resize all of your images in batch to 1,500 pixels, and then when you build it as smart objects, it's going to build it with whatever size of images you're feeding into it. So you could feed it downsized images, but still have images that are smart objects and larger than they're going to go into the team to give you some flexibility for resizing. I hope that makes sense. Anyway, that's what it does. And if you are not familiar with smart objects, I suggest doing a little research and Googling or go to YouTube and just learn about smart objects in general a little bit more because they work the exact same in Easy Team Builder as they do anywhere else in Photoshop. Anyways, that covers that topic, and I hope that all made sense. Thanks for watching.